Well, hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and it is Monday morning and I'm on my way back to work. Vacation time is over. Time for reality again. Oops. And the good news is I had a really great weekend, learnt a lot and achieved a lot thanks to my friends. And that is the discussion that I wanted to have today. It's about what things to ask for. If people are asking, what do you want for my birthday? Get creative. Okay. So my friend Laurie asked me, what could she get me for my birthday? And I don't do this nothing business. No, I'm fine, thank you, I don't need anything, because there's nothing worse. In this day and age, people want to be practical. People want to actually give you something that is valuable to you or of use to you. They don't want to just go buying presents that are going to be wasteful. People don't have the money for that anymore, and also that's not rewarding to them. So when Laurie asked me what did I want for my birthday this year, I said, as some of you know, time. I could do with a few hours of your time to help me start tackling my back room. Now, some of you know I'm in the middle of renovations, the tail end of renovations, and after having had 2 complete rooms full of boxes and junk and everything else upstairs, and never mind what I've got downstairs, I was down to about, I would say about 18 boxes of crud in my back office. And I know that it's crud in there, and that's not a sort of exciting idea for me. And so I keep doing everything I can not to go into that office and look at them or tackle them. I know it's not going to be fun. So that's why I asked for time, because what I've discovered is if somebody is with me, it's not as difficult. I got even more creative about it, because what I did is when Laurie arrived, bless her heart, I sat her down and said, I actually don't need you to do anything. I just need you to watch me while I do it. And she said, what? I said, I just need you to sit right there and be comfortable. And I'm going to go and get the boxes. And I bought boxes sort of like 2 or 3 at a time and put them on my dining room table. And then either side of me I had recycling and garbage bins. And for every single thing that I picked up, it was recycle it, chuck it, or put it away right now. Recycle it, put it in the garbage, or put it away right now. Not a pile of stuff that needed to be put away, but put it away right now. Well, we spent about 2.5 hours doing that, and I have discovered that I was really good a few years ago collecting paper. It seemed to be that was my thing in life. So I had 2 sorts of paper. A lot of it was paper that obviously could just be thrown away because I had no confidential information on it. And then there was other information or paper that with information on it that I don't want just going into the recycling. So I started to get quite a big pile of papers that needed to be shredded. So what I did was I had Laurie sit and shred while we chatted. And the really interesting thing was that we just chatted away about stuff. And I really wasn't that aware of what I was doing. It made it very easy for me to throw stuff away. And because, it was just like we were chatting, and half my mind was detracted away from the personal aspect of some of the stuff that probably would have made me hang on to stuff. And I'm going to show you a clip at the end, because unfortunately I did 2 clips on it, and the first clip for some reason didn't take. I obviously didn't press the record button properly, but the second one did. And to show you that out of all the boxes that I went through, what was left, what I actually kept. Now, to be fair, you're going to see a small group of stuff that I kept. And I did actually keep a little bit more than that, because I know I kept a whole box of, I don't mean a whole big box, like an envelope box full of white paper, for the printer or whatever. There was an envelope box full of that. But other than that, what you're going to see is going to surprise you, because it is all that I kept out of 10 boxes of crud. The other thing that was surprising was apparently my second favorite thing to collect are electronic things. Speakers, transformers, mice, computer connectors. I had a whole box of those, big box, like the sort of box that you get office paper in, like 12 packs of paper. That's that sort of size box, bigger than a banker box. A whole box full of that sort of stuff. Quite scary, but done. And so I said to Laurie before she left, I'd like to do this again, because I realized that if we do what's left now, I know I've got 4 complete boxes of files. When I say files from years and years of running my own business, and then I've got files, boxes and boxes of files left. Now, they're all going to have to be shredded, because it's got personal information in it. So basically what I'm going to do is sit down every evening and shred 1 banker box full of stuff. If I can do that every evening, I will get through those files very quickly. Well, not very quickly, it'll still take a long time, but at least I'll get through them without too much effort. So here's my challenge to you. What is it that you want to get accomplished, that if a friend came over and kept you focused, because really that's what it was about yesterday. I had 2 boxes done before Laurie even arrived, just because I knew this was the day we were going to be doing it. I wonder if that makes sense to everybody. So what is it that you want to get done that a friend can help you? And I remember one time, Laurie, myself, and another friend, we used to trade 1 afternoon a month to each other. And we would go, for example, I can always remember we went to Laurie's place one time, and we wallpapered a wall and put up chair rail and everything else in an afternoon, because there were 3 of us, the 2 visitors and Laurie, and there were 3 of us all working on it. Laurie's only job was to get everything together. She needed to get all the wallpaper and everything else that we might need, and have it there. And then our job was to come in and actually do it. It was like, those reality shows, do-it-yourself shows that you see on home and garden television. We just descended and did the work. So I just wonder how many of you have got a job that you've been procrastinating over, that if a friend came over you could probably tackle, and you'd be surprised actually how much you can get done in a couple of hours. Now the trick to it is, and Laurie knows it as well as I do, the trick to it is that when you arrive, or when you start this thing and the helper arrives, try not to start by sitting down and chatting and having coffee and everything else, because if you do that, you lose a lot of time. Do it the other way. In other words, get straight to work. Sort of, I'm so glad you came, let's get to it. Get straight to work. Take breaks in between, that's fine. Laurie is a smoker, so we took a couple of smoke breaks in between. Where I could sit down because I was standing a lot. But do it that way. The other thing that we did that I don't normally do, and I knew was really important, was I took half an hour off the time, and the last half hour was cleanup, where we broke down, the 10 boxes, where we piled up all the recycling, and it will go bit by bit into my recycling bins over the next couple of weeks, and where we could put all the garbage together and everything else. So we left enough time to do the cleanup after the sorting, because quite honestly that gets sort of left sometimes where you don't do that part of it. So very, very productive, and I am so thankful for that. And the second one was, for those of you who are Tiny Chat viewers, was Glenn, who spent hours with me this weekend. We're trying to get a system going on my computers whereby I can do multiple cameras for a broadcast. And the reason for that is I would like to start doing some more educational type stuff for those that are interested. When I say more educational, but to try and explain some of these issues to people in a visual way where they can get it really in their brain, but in their right brain rather than their intellect. They can actually see what this looks like on a whiteboard, because it's a much quicker way for people to understand than just talking about it. And I would really, really like to do some more of that work, because I think it's really important. And so Glenn has been so patient and so helpful, and I'm very, very, very thankful for that, because I'm sure he's got things that he wants to do on his own. And talking about that, he actually is going to give all of the Dear Mama Sal viewers, and a few others by the way, but definitely the Dear Mama Sal viewers, a special treat on Saturday. And he's got a spaceship simulator. It's so exciting. And what he's going to do is take us on a journey from Cape Canaveral to the International Space Station. He's going to dock us at the International Space Station. And then he's going to show us a video from inside the International Space Station. So, for those of you who've never seen it. And then he's going to fly us back. Well, I don't know about you. That sounds like such fun to me. So we're going to do it on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And the only thing that I need to warn people about, and that's why I wanted to give you a heads up now, I'm going to give you the link to his channel in the notes below here. And it's on something called Vaughan TV, BAUGHN TV. And if you want to be talking through type, by typing, during the flight, you will need to sign up with Vaughan TV. It doesn't cost you anything. I just need to warn you that you do need to be over 19 or older. So make sure you get your birthday right. And that's all you need to do. There's no cost. You just need to be signed up with them, just so that, and if it says, sign up with your Facebook or whatever, don't do that. Don't want you to do that. Just want you to sign up as a regular guest. And then after we've done the flight, for those who are interested, we will then, I've also set up a DearMamaSal site on Vaughan TV. And what we're going to do is to do a test broadcast on there. To see if we can actually attract a few more viewers to the DearMamaSal broadcast site, because we're always looking to help more people. And our problem is that on TinyChat we've got so many filters on it that it makes life very difficult for people to get in. So we're hoping that it'll be slightly easier on Vaughan TV. Okay, so the challenge this week: have a look around your place where you live, or your work, or anything else, and decide what is it that you'd like to do that might be easier to do if you had a friend help you. And then phone a friend. And if you do it, let me know. Let me know when you've got it set up, so that I will know that you're serious about this. And also that you will feel the pleasure of that. And lastly, on today's vlog, the Battle of the Bulge. For those of you who don't know, I'm busy trying to lose weight at the moment. I got myself well and truly out of control with not smoking, and put on way too much weight. And I was already overweight before, and I've pushed myself into obese, which really is not pleasant. So my first goal is to get out of obese back into overweight. And as some of you know, I've been using my Fitness Pal, and there is a link below to that as well, just for those who might want to do it. And it's not a diet. What it is an app that shows you, basically, if you want to lose this much weight in this much time, these are how many calories you're allowed to have. And then as you sort of plonk in your food, you can see, oh, I don't think I want to be eating that today. Which really is interesting. It's very educational. For example, over the weekend, Yvonne came and asked me, whether I wanted a particular cup of coffee. I don't know if I've told you guys this already, and if I have, forgive me. But anyway, she asked whether I wanted a cup of coffee. And I thought about it, and I said, well, hang on a second, let me check. And what I realized was that the coffee that I would normally have would account for 1/3 of my daily calories. And owing to the fact that it was still morning, you could understand my mind went, I don't think so. Now, if it had been at the end of the day and I had that many calories left over, I'd probably say sure. But as it was, it was the beginning of the day, and I went, no, I don't think so. I'd rather make my own, which I did. But the good news was I lost 3 pounds in 3 days. And then, because On Saturday night, Glenn and I talked, and we're doing stuff with the computers through Skype. We talked way into the morning, and I was snacking. I didn't make it 4 pounds in 4 days. And I've forgiven myself for that. Big time. But it was funny because you really realized, wow, eating correctly and doing a little bit of exercise, I was capable of losing 1 pound a day for 3 days. That tells you how much sugar I'd been eating. And it's so funny because on this system, even watching what I'm eating, I'm still eating like 200% more sugar than I meant to. And that's without eating any candies or anything. And so partially what's happening to me is I'm weaning myself off these vast amounts of sugar that I think I existed on before. And I have had a couple of times, which amuses me, where I get to the end of the day and I'm about to close it off. And as I go to close it off, the system says you have not had enough calories. You need more calories. And I go, oh, that's easy for me to do. And I go to the treat cupboard and go and get myself a treat. And that normally packs on just enough calories to keep it quiet. Now I know they're empty calories and they're not good for me, but it does feel like fun. I've got to tell you something. It's just like, whoa, I've been so good all day, now I can actually go and have a treat. And that is a nice way to end my day. So I hope you all have a great day, morning, afternoon, whatever you're at the time that you watch this. I'm sending you, of course, huge virtual hugs, because it's really been strange how many of you apparently pick up on the virtual hug and enjoy them. So here's a big one, especially for me. And as I'm at a traffic light, I can give you a big one. I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, whatever it is. As I said, this is Dear Mama Sal saying bye for now.